So I've heard too many people lately talk about how Ukraine can't win, or maybe they should sue for peace, or maybe the West is losing resolve. I want to talk about 7 things that I know for sure. Like, I know these for sure even more than I did ever along the way. First thing, Ukraine should be defended. We have a moral obligation to defend Ukraine. This is a democracy that's being invaded by its neighbor, and that's part one. But part two, the background, the authoritarian nature of Russia and the moving toward the west of Ukraine, that's part two. And then that we have a moral obligation because we made the Budapest Memorandum and we are trying to encourage that. And so they should be defended. But part two, number two, is that they must be defended, because what if we don't do this? What's the consequence if we just neglect it, let it ride, let Putin do this, and then where's he going next? Like, they're openly talking about uniting Belarus and Ukraine with Russia and other territories that were once Russian land. So, I've talked about this before, but Hitler said he would have stopped if he was checked in the Rhineland. I think it's the same kind of dynamic here. So that's 1 and 2. Number 3, Russia has no plans to stop. I am confident of that Russia has no plans to stop. They've increased their military budget. They've increased the number of soldiers for next year. Putin plans to finish this. He's going to keep coming. What finishing it looks like depends on what Ukraine does, but he's planning to keep going. He's not at all interested in peace, regardless of how much Lavrov talks about they won't even negotiate with us. Not on your terms, they won't. So number 3 is that Russia won't stop. Number 4 is that Russia is a legitimate, significant threat. I know this. I can feel it in my bones. They are a threat, and they're going to keep causing disruptions until they are forced not to. That means I'm watching what's happening in Serbia and Kosovo as much as I am any other place, because I think that they want to cause disruptions all over the place. They're a threat in many places around the world. They're a cyber threat to the rest of the world. They're a threat to Finland's border now. They are a threat. They're a real threat, and they need to be dealt with as if they're a real threat. Where I live in the American South, we have alligators, and you have to deal with an alligator like it's an alligator. You don't go and pet it. You don't go, oh, isn't that a pretty alligator? Oh, it's 2023. These are modern alligators. They won't bite you. No, no, no. You deal with them as if they are an alligator. And Russia has proven time and time again, it does what Russia is doing. Okay. That was number 4. Number 5, world order depends on this. If you don't check a dictator as he's growing into a bigger dictator, he becomes a bigger dictator. That you have to stunt his growth where he is. You have to check it. If you do not check it, he tends to try to expand. Now, it's not just him, it's not just Putin trying to expand, but it sends a chilling message to other dictators if you check it where it is, that, maybe this isn't that great of an idea. So not just for Putin, but for others like Xi or other authoritarians around the world that might want to get antsy, you need to check it right there. That's number 5. Number 6, we've got to wake up. Like, in the West, we've got to wake up. We need political leaders who are willing to have the spine to say, we need to put forward the money. We need to put forward the weapons. We need to put forward whatever it takes. And not just in rhetoric, but in action. We need to make sure that this happens. Without adequate leadership, it kind of falls apart, because it's the system is the system is fragmented in such a way that without cascading leadership throughout the system, it's not going to work. But we need to wake up, and we need to wake up in a big way before this becomes a bigger problem. Number 7, bad things are in the works. I can feel it in my bones. I'm not talking World War III, because I don't know that that's going to happen, but I think additional conflicts are possible, and they are more likely the longer we let what's going on in Ukraine fester. So bad things are in the works. I know people are saying, like, how could this be happening in 2023? The nature of man hasn't really changed any. Like, there's nothing about 2023 that makes man stop being inhumane to other human beings. Read history. So the way that you tamp this down is by checking bad people who do bad things. And the way that happens, Edmund Burke said that all that's necessary for evil to prevail, or for evil to triumph, is that good men do nothing. Good men have to step up. You have to keep paying attention to this, have to keep this in front of your legislators, have to keep supporting Ukraine in whatever way that you can. All right, those are the 7 things that I know for sure. I am positive, as sure as I'm sitting here, I know that those things are true. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Thank you for being the kind of person that cares about Ukraine.